Alright, today guys, we are going to be testing the new bikes, but mostly the Triumph, because I did already do some testing on my own, and most of the bikes are pretty similar, but there's a couple new settings that I can show off in the garage for you guys. Here, let me just show you really quick. Turn the mouse on. There we go. So in the garage we have the usual stuff, suspension and drivetrain and all that. We got this cool logo here. But here's the two new things. We got this standard, which is what the usual mappings are, but now we got a race mode. And what this does is, I can't really remember, but I think it just evens out the like torque or power delivery, something like that. I think Reaper Doc made a video on it, but I can't remember. I've done very little research for that. But what I've toyed a lot with, because when I was making my setup again for my Kawasaki, the gearing was really short. This has really short gearing itself. But now what you can do is increase this. So if you like what your sprockets are, but you want a little more out of your gears, you can increase these numbers now, which will give you a little more. For me though, I don't really touch these too often because you're mostly able to find a pretty good setup like this. I would say for me, I like having the first or whatever gear this is to 70, 80. That's always been pretty good for me. And I guess I'll leave that in race and we'll go testing. We'll be testing the Triumph on motocross, and we'll do some supercross later. No. Alright, so we're out here on Outpost, one of my favorite sand tracks. I like the sand quite a bit, so I have like three sand tracks. I will tell you this: if there's a sound mod for this thing, maybe get it, because the default sound for the Triumph isn't very pleasing on the ears. Won't lie. So as far as I can tell, I'm really bad when it comes to suspension and stuff. But I've gotten better where I'm better at telling if its suspension is really stiff or not. And it feels kind of stiff, but you can really only feel it once you get into the rougher stuff. And I'm also just really used to how my Kawasaki feels, so everything feels a little weird whenever I'm testing new bikes. But I'd say just like based off like how it bounces and reacts, I would say the default suspension is stiffer. But don't take me for word. I'm not the greatest. I don't do my own suspension. I go and get some. So. Trying to actually lay down a hot lap. Yeah. Well, that was cool. Just based off of that, I would definitely say that this suspension is most definitely stiffer, so it might need some work. It's really hard to say about the speed, because it has to take some getting used to before you get the speed. So maybe a sand track wasn't the best thing to test it on. But might just be me. Also, that was just a game. I hate the whole teeter-tot thing that this game does. I will say, I feel like they have decreased the traction again, because I was riding my Kawasaki, and I swear I was just slipping out. Like, I gotten used to it where I don't notice it too much anymore, but when I first was riding, I felt like I was slipping everywhere when I didn't used to. You know what I mean? Leave it in the comments if you guys agree. Also, I'll tell you this. The bike just feels big. Much like, to be honest, it kind of feels like, because I'm used to riding a Kawasaki, it kind of feels like, the Honda a little bit. It doesn't like come up too much, but it's just the best thing. It just kind of feels the same kind of sluggishness. The Honda is one of those bikes that like it's kind of harder to whip and toss and stuff. In my opinion, at least, you know. I don't know if they meant to make the bike feel heavy, but it does feel kind of heavy. Maybe it's just the sand or something, but you know. Whoa. I do like the look of it though. It doesn't look bad. You might see a skin for it coming from me. I do have to do more testing, and I definitely have to get a setup and see how it feels with the setup. But I would say so far the new bikes have been good. I do like the gear changing thing. It allows for much more customization. Like on my Kawasaki's Supercross setup, I have a good mix between low end, high-end torque on the lower gears, so I can get over things much easier on a 250. You know, you're able to get moving faster. But then for straightaways, it's a more mellowed out. It's more mellowed out because I'm able to adjust the gear ratios a little more than we used to. My motocross setup is pretty much, I try to get it as close as I had it, and I'm pretty happy with my motocross setup on my KX250. So Supercross one, I'm still testing a little bit. I think I got the gear ratio right and stuff, but you know, I did notice like with the new gear ratio stuff that like it's substantially like helps bikes that wouldn't be considered as good as the KTM. I don't get why people like the KTM. I always feel like I'm so unstable on that bike, even with setups. But yeah, you're able to bring bikes closer with the gear change. So like you don't have to worry about power too much, because now, especially with the race mapping, I think that's what it does. It just brings the bikes all closer in general. But like with the gear changing, where certain bikes would struggle in Supercross, now you're able to make it up a little bit with just making the gears maybe a little shorter so you get out of corners better. You know what I mean? Because my Kawasaki with my Supercross setup feels much more snappier and stuff. Yeah, I gotta be a little more careful with throttle control because it's easier to slip out now on flat corners specifically, because I have that lower end torque higher, so it gets going faster on the lower gears, which you spend most of your time in lower gears in Supercross, so you don't really know the stat. Well, as you can see, I'm starting to get used to this and used to the suspension. You have to come in, and when the corners, this is a perfect example, or this corner coming up here, this is a perfect example of why you gotta, with the regular suspension, just the default suspension, why you gotta be a little careful, because it dances. The Triumph does dance a lot, I will not lie. So definitely if you're going to run this in motocross, definitely have to loosen that suspension most likely. Again, I'm also not a suspension guy, so that I'm just telling you like what it feels like it's doing a lot. I wish we had sand that functioned more like the reflex sand, where it was just softer. Because, you know, I love the sand tracks, and I love, like, how you have to carry so much momentum. But if it was able to deform better and stuff, like how it was in reflex, I feel like it would make for more interesting racing. And rulers would be more fun, too. Because now rollers kind of just turn into jumps. Rollers are just kind of mini jumps unless they're smaller rollers. Like, these are pretty good rollers. You're able to go through them pretty good. But like, sand rollers on the aerial tracks are literally just, they're just jumps. There we go, see? I was able to get that corner better. We'll do one more lap. I think I gave you everything I could say for the motocross side of the Triumph. Finally got that right. That was hard. All in all, though, I don't think they changed too much with the new OEM update. Just little things such as the mappings and the gear ratio stuff. But you know, I would say for the most part, those are good changes. Plus, I don't know if most people noticed this, but besides getting the Triumph, we also have the Beta 450 Supercross bike. I got on that bike a little bit, and that was about it. You know, I rode like 2 laps on it, so I can't say too much about that bike. Okay, we're gonna go over to Supercross now, so I'll see you over there. Alright, we're over here. I'm probably one of the best tracks to test Supercross on, the RGMX test track. Everything is default on the bike. I did put the race mapping on though, because I don't know why you wouldn't. I am not good at Supercross. We're just here to test it, see how it feels, specifically in the whoops and in the shoot. I guess really just the whoops, you know. Maybe I should reset the track. Yeah, let me reset the track really quick. Alright, now that the track is reset, let's try this again. Probably should have shifted down there. It's gonna be a minute before I get used to the gearing, what gears I should be in. It's struggling a little bit to get over stuff. Not good so far. It's struggling to even get over those jumps. I think I was in too low of a gear. Alright, let's see how it looks through the whoops. Not bad. I'm not great at whoops, so don't expect a lot from me. That's a hard one anyways on a 250. Okay. Thanks, Barbosa. Love to see it. Man, it's even struggling to get over that. I don't think I've had a bike struggle too much, but it might be the new OEMs. Oy, not looking good so far. Might just need some work. I mean, every bike probably can ride Supercross, but probably need to keep my momentum up more. let's try again. I really can't tell if it's the new OEMs or not. Because on my KX250, yes, I have a setup on that. But I was riding a track, and then I was riding a track that I used to ride, and would struggle to get over some jumps out of corners, just because. But with the gearing changes and stuff, I adjusted that, and you know, now it's better. That's what this might need, because like I said earlier, it feels like the Honda a little bit, where it just feels really heavy and sluggish, because this thing does not want to catch airtime. I know I should have shifted up there, but like, if I shifted up, we would not have enough entrance speed, because it just does not get going very much. In its default setting, I would definitely say this is even with the race mapping. So I would say in its default state, probably not the greatest for Supercross then, because it's barely getting over anything. This is like not even like a super hard track either. Here, let me go to another track really quick, because I need to do more testing a little bit, you know what I mean? Because if it's really struggling that hard in Supercross, you'll probably end up having to do a little bit of work to get it over things, because, man, I don't know. Let's see. Alright, see, now we're over on Arena Cross, so Arena Cross, noticeably less bigger jumps, so we'll see if it does struggle. Oh my gosh. If it does struggle a little bit with exit speed and catching up to speed, we'll be able to tell with Arena Cross, because Arena Cross is all about maximizing corner speed and stuff. To be honest, you can't really make that from the inside, that on a 250, not even on my setup. It's hard. Okay, not bad on the whoops. I hate tough blocks like that, where they're kind of just in the way. Might have gone a little too inside like that, but there's some tracks like that have tough blocks where they have the soft collisions that are straight in the way. Okay, not so bad so far. Oh, that wasn't that very good. Yeah, I think that's the best I've hit that corner in a while of riding this track, so it does seem to struggle in Supercross settings a little bit in its default state. You know what I mean? Because on my other bikes, I do not have to seat bounce that finish line. Oy, that is not good. That is not a hard jump to hit. And I pretty much, for once I could say confidently, I pretty much greased that, so. Let me see if you really have to rail the outside here. Oh my. Yeah, I would say in its default state, it is not that good at Supercross. And again, I'm not that great of a rider, but I'm not also terrible either. Dude, I hate when it does that. It doesn't make any sense. It's tough blocks again. Either the back wheel is sliding a ton and getting no traction, or the bike is just, you know, doesn't have the, in its default state, the torque to get over it. I have cased that jump every time, no matter how I hit that corner. That is not a hard jump. I'll be the first one to say. What was that? Hell, Poboso, fix your game. I'm honestly surprised sometimes that MX Bikes hasn't died with the lack of updates or anything from the creator. It's only alive because of mod creators and the OEM team. So I don't know why we don't do something about it, but you know, hopefully the motocross the game is good, you know, because sometimes I legitimately don't think that we should be giving money to somebody that does not update their games or even speak to the community barely. I don't know why we let it slide when we don't let it slide for other creators and stuff, you know. I know he's small, but you know, I've seen indie developers have better development and communication with their fans. So it's possible, so whatever. Don't know if I'll be running the Triumph for Supercross, but I might, once I get a setup for it, might run it for motocross races. There you go. Yeah, you have to hit that corner near perfect. Really stretch it out. Okay, see, it is possible. Okay, well, that was just the game right there. The whole back wheel slipping out every darn time. Try and hit this section clean. Yeah, there's no way that's making it over that like that onto that. Oh my gosh, yeah, this suspension on this thing is jumpy. It's super twitchy. Or that's the game, one or the other. Could be the game. I don't really know what to say because I'm not much of a... I'm not... What just happened there? Because I'm not the greatest at Supercross, but you know. Most bikes... I'm saying most bikes, i.e., you know, the bikes that are raced more, the Yamaha, Husky, and KTM, and possibly the Cowie. I don't know if I rode my Cowie on this track yet. that is a doable jump, and as you can see, you probably can do it on the Triumph, but not like this. It's very hard, and plus that, like, the location of the jump too. Bro, second time the front end just twitches like that. Okay. Alright, so I think I'm gonna end it here. But to be honest though, I do think the traction has been worsened from the update. I think we have less traction. I don't know if that's true. It just maybe placebo, but it does feel that way. Dang, that's a stretch. Do one more lap here. I'm on, kind of feeling it for a second. Oh. Wall jumps are so weird in this game. Man, everything is a stretch on this bike. I'll just say it plainly. I feel like I'm constantly trying to stretch out every jump. Even jumps that really shouldn't be stretches. And you gotta go outside, and never mind, the front end suspension decided to rebound in a weird way. Alright, there we go. I'm gonna end it here. I guess I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that is. I wasn't expecting this update, so I'm still doing testing and stuff. That was just my opinions on how the Triumph feels. It might need some work on the Supercross side. Motocross side is not too bad, so anyways, I'll see you guys next time.